And why are allergies so bad in New Mexico? Turns out we may be to blame.
Good afternoon, I'm Kim Vallez. Anyone with pollen allergies will tell you New Mexico can be a rough place to live when plants are blooming and the wind is blowing. But you can't just point your finger at Mother Nature. Turns out we may be partially to blame. News 13's Kayla Ayres is live in the Newsplex to explain.
Kim, the metro area has a 10-month tree pollen season, and this incredibly long season is somewhat the invention of humans.
Spring and pollen are in the air, something highly evident to those who suffer from allergies.
I have neighbors behind, and everything is coming off their trees. It blows into my backyard.
Ash and juniper pollen are spiking high right now, and there's no relief in sight.
From 2 spikes, juniper and cottonwood, to a continuum involving mulberry, Arizona cypress, and elm trees, so that now we have the longest tree pollen season in the country right here in Albuquerque.
Larry Caudill is retired from the city's air quality division. Caudill says while cottonwood and juniper are native trees, this is an issue exacerbated by people who brought in other tree species and by poor decision making. Back in the 1980s, Caudill says there was a ban on planting female cottonwood trees.
People were sneezing, they could see the cotton, they couldn't see the pollen, they assumed cotton was the problem. It turned out that cotton was not an air allergen at all, it was a male-produced pollen.
So in planting male trees, Caudill says we added more pollen to the air. He helped draft the city's ordinance that aims to control tree pollen. It was added to the books in 1994, banning entire categories of trees and threatening violators with a fine.
We realized we couldn't do away with pollen, but we could keep it from getting any worse. That was the intent.
The city's air quality division says there's no indication there's been a change in the pollen count since that ordinance was drafted nearly 2 decades ago.
Currently, there's no one to enforce the city's pollen control ordinance. The city's air quality division says they're looking through the ordinance with Parks and Recreation to see what can be done to make sure this law is followed. Kim, back to you.
Okay, thanks, Kayla. Now, Caudill also says the drastic elevation changes in the metro area contribute to a longer allergy season.